What did we learn from the Leeds and Ipswich game? Well, many fans are saying we learnt about the golfing class. We'll get the fans' view on that in a second. Plus, we're looking back on the transfer window. What's the honest reflection of how Doug did? And we're finishing off our worst ever Coventry 11 this week by adding a manager to it. Look at the shower that this team have put together. We'll get to that at the end of the video. Plus, we're also talking about Valentine's Day. We're spreading the love. How did these three first fall in love with Coventry City? They'll share their stories at the end. But first of all, let's jump into the football side of it. We're recording this before the midweek games, before QPR has stepped foot into the CBS. If you want to skip ahead 4 minutes because we're not talking about that game, please do so. But let's have a quick chat about Ipswich, Jay. Premier League class just tell in the end?
Yes and no. I thought personally, I didn't think that we were as bad as everyone made out online. Again, we had quite a few changes in our team, very similar to Ipswich, but Ipswich have spent millions on creating this Championship superstar B team for themselves. But I think where we fell short is we just made too many mistakes, unfortunately. All 4 goals could have been avoidable. Again, from our own goal kick, 20 seconds later, from our own kickoff, 20 seconds later, somehow we conceded a penalty. Absolutely shocking. And then some of the play after that, obviously got back into the game, which is brilliant. And that second goal, I just felt sort of killed us a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure we'll go on to this, but I thought Leeds were more impressive than Ipswich by quite some distance, personally. But yeah, I just think it was down to mistakes rather than them being massively more superior than us. Again, we made quite a few changes ourselves. I think we had probably 9 starters that would have played normally out of the team. So, and again, our squad is very, very thin. So again, unfortunately, unlike Ipswich, you've got masses of depth. We've got very minimal depth. And they also got a very important game against QPR on Tuesday, which is tomorrow.
Cheers for that, Jay. Let's get some social media takes for you. That's not the wrong one. I want that one first. Dan says, the players that don't usually play showed exactly why they don't usually play. Scott, Sheaf, Grimes, EMC and Hadji can't come back soon enough was one take. Michael Rogers says, people just need to chill. We were missing 7 of our best today against a weakened Ipswich side. Still, one worth over twice the value of ours with top quality players who will punish you if you make mistakes and not take our chances. That's the reality of it. Big game Tuesday, though. Do you agree with those points, Scott?
Again, yes and no. I think the league's more important than the FA Cup, personally. Certainly in terms of where we are at the moment and how we've been playing up until the Leeds game. Yeah, I didn't think there was a massive gulf. Yeah, they've got a bigger squad. Like Jay said, I think if we'd have cut out the mistakes, I think the game would have been a hell of a lot tighter than it was against Leeds. Whether we're going to come on to that or not, but that was the biggest gulf that I've seen in a long, long time for that game. But I thought like Frank said, I didn't think we were horrible against Ipswich. We got ourselves back into the game. We played some decent football. We looked a little bit shoddy at times. Got cut to pieces. Well, almost our own downfall, like we said about the issues and the defensive errors, which cost us. But I don't think it was that bad, and I don't think there was a massive gulf if you take out the blips that we self-inflicted, really.
Okay. There was lots of people commenting to the contrary. Nick says a big golfing class, major work to do. These last 2 games, Tom, have only confirmed what we all knew already. We are a mid-table championship side, no more than that. Respectfully disagree.
Well, I hope we're not a mid-table. I hope we push for playoffs, to be honest. But yeah, as you said, the Leeds game, massive golf. I mean, they are brilliant. I think they got 100 million squad, if I'm not mistaken. They were class on the day. They'll go straight up. They're a brilliant team. We couldn't handle them. Fair enough. They seem to be beating everyone. So I didn't really expect to get much from that game. And on the night, mistakes were made, especially for that first goal. Sims plays it backwards. I don't know what Bobby Thomas is doing either. And then for the second goal as well, Latty kind of gets in the way a bit. Dovin drops it, and it's just very messy. There's no communication there. So, but Leeds are a class team. They pass it around quickly, and they scare teams. So fair play to them. The Ipswich game, to be honest, if you put that starting 11 they had in the Championship, they're most likely getting top 2 with it because it's a brilliant championship team. The mistakes we made were very poor, but when I look back on it, I'm not too bothered because I'm more focused on the league. It would, as Scott said, have been a much more close game without the mistakes, but we're just looking to the league now. But it is a shame we lost 4-1 because it is a bit embarrassing, but hopefully get a big result tomorrow night because that is a big, big game.
Yeah, we'll review both of those, of course, next week, and your trip to Hillsborough, which we'll get on to in a second as well. Jake, can I talk about Radoni with you for a second? There's a couple of fans
a
bit perplexed by his overall just contributions to this side. It blows hot and cold, some fans were saying. He did a very strange interview after the game. I don't know if you saw it. Fans were saying, I've never seen anyone so happy to be pumped 4-1 and called me old-fashioned, but he seemed unbothered by actually going out of the cup. What have you made of his? I mean, he signed from Huddersfield. You know, obviously he was one of your first signings in the summer. How's he done overall for you?
I personally think he's been brilliant. When he signed, again, I'm not massive keen on signing League One players all the time, but he was a player that I saw a couple of times last season, and I thought he looked quite decent. Speaking to a lot of the Huddersfield fans, again, they used to say quite good things about him, but end product wasn't fantastic, which is a bit similar to Callum and O'Hare in my eyes. Very, very different players, but again, end product wasn't always fantastic. But I think he's been brilliant this year, especially since Lampard's come in. I think he's one of a handful of players that have really stepped up. Him, Ephraim Mason-Clark, probably the two players for me that have probably really stood out for me since Lampard's come in. Again, you have to remember he's 22, 23 years old. We've got Haji Wright out. We've got Ephraim Mason-Clark out. And Sakamoto is out as well. Obviously, he's on the bench due to formation change. So he's probably our main and probably only attacking creative player we've got on the team. So a lot of the players coming through him, and his numbers don't lie. He's in double figures, I believe, in goals and assists this year. So I think personally he's doing absolutely fantastic. The interview afterwards, he's just a happy guy. He looks like part of the E17 group. He just I thought the interview wasn't too bad. He was quite honest and direct with his assessment, I thought. And again, personally, I've told you before, I'm not too massively bothered by the FA Cup. Again, I know our squad's very thin. So I, like Scott and Tom have alluded to, I would be focusing more on the league than anything else. So I thought his interview, again, when I heard it, I thought it was quite blunt and frank. So I was more happy. I was happy with the interview, and didn't really think much of it. And then with his performance, again, I thought he was okay on Saturday against Leeds, a bit quieter. But this season, I think he's been probably our player of the season, I would say, to date, thinking about it. I think he's been brilliant.
Okay, all right, we'll leave that there. Let's focus on Sheffield Wednesday then, shall we, Scott? At the weekend, you've got a little bit of a rivalry going on with them at the moment. They don't seem to like you very much. You've rubbed them up the wrong way. Last time you have to play them this season, thank goodness. How do you see this one going?
I think it's going to be quite an interesting game because I think they've been quite decent this season from what I've seen. Obviously, we played them in the Cup. I think they put out a weaker side. I can't remember the size now, but it was a game that we won on penalties. I think we won there last season in the Cup and the League, or might be
drew
mistaken. Drew in the Cup and then beat them back at CBS. Won at their place. The side's different compared to how it was last season, so we've got some more players and potentially some better players. I think it's going to be a tough game. Certainly going to be a tough game. Prediction-wise, I put us down. I thought we would get a draw with Sheffield Wednesday. That's my prediction there, but I think it's going to be quite close. If we play like we played against Swansea, I think we can give anybody a game in the league apart from Leeds.
Okay.
Barry Bannon's injured as well.
Yeah, Barry Bannon's injured and Bernard's injured as well, apparently. So
we got Bidwell injured now, though, as well. We do.
Oh yeah.
Well, Bannon's done his foot, hasn't he?
Yeah, be out for a couple of months. Yeah.
In that game in the Cup this season, I thought when Barry Bannon came on for
changed the game. He did.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
For his age.
Like Grimes against Leeds for us, really.
Yeah.
Definite draw then.
Right, let's have a look at the transfer window, shall we? It's slam shut now, Tom. I mean, it won't take us very long to go through it. What is your overall view of it? How Doug did?
I mean, good. I'd say good. We didn't lose any of our big players, any of our starting 11, any of our Milans or anything. So that was good. Grimes, buzzing we got him in. Looked really good against Leeds. I'm really buzzing that he'll have hopefully 90 minutes tomorrow against QPR. Tavares going out on loan. That's fine. I don't think he'll wear a Cov shirt again. Burrows coming back. And I think Howley came back as well. Just need the numbers, don't we, really? It's a bit disappointing we didn't get anyone else in. Especially a loan or two would have been nice. But overall, not terrible. I'd give it maybe a 7. We kept our decent players and we got Grimes. So it was okay. Summer transfer window is hopefully going to be much better and hopefully give a lot of money for Lampard to spend because we know he can bring players in. So hopefully.
All right. Good summary. Thank you very much. If you've been watching the last 3 weeks or so, this team have been putting together the worst ever Coventry City 11. Now it's time to appoint a manager for it. Let's have a look at how it looks like on paper after all your hard work. Yeah. I mean, Jay, this screams instant relegation, doesn't it? For you?
It's scary. I remember talking about it the last week. It looks scary seeing it all on in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad team.
Absolutely. We need a captain, so we're going to give that over to our viewers to do. So in the comments, please, looking down this list here now, let us know who's the one player on that 11 you would never pay money to see again in the sky blue shirt. And they can be our captain. But we need a manager, Scott. Now I know you've had obviously quite a longevity with Robbins recently, so we'll probably have to go back a lot further than him. But who's the worst ever Coventry City manager in your lifetime? And Tom, if you want to pass on this, that's absolutely fine.
No, I did say to Tom. Tom asked me, and I said Lampard as a joke, but I've got it down to 2, and I could flip a coin really. I've got it down to Russell Slade and Andy Thorne. And even when I looked them up, I was quite surprised actually. They've both got just over about 18% win rate. But Slade was appointed in December 2016, sacked in March 2017, so it lasted 3 months. Andy Thorne had a lot more games. I think Slade managed 16, Thorne managed 49. We got relegated in the seasons that both of them were appointed. So I could flip a coin on either of them. But the amount of time that Slade was there, I'll go for Slade for 3 months.
Jay?
Oh, clear answer is Slade. I was talking to Tom about earlier. He did say Mark Robbins. So everyone comment about what he thinks.
I did not say Mark Robbins. I've been using Robbins for my whole life. My whole life has been Robbins.
I was joking. Yeah, I think
Slade, I had to ask my uncle for help.
Yeah, Slade is that. But again, I was talking earlier about it. One manager I absolutely love, this season really confuses me, is Tony Mowbray. He had like the best team and the best team I ever saw in my life, and somehow he didn't manage to get promoted. I wouldn't say he was a bad manager, but just that season, I think about it every now and then. I don't know how he didn't get promoted, but I think Slade is the clear answer in my eyes. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. We'll give you a pass, Tom, on this one. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Next week, to finish off the worst ever, we're putting this team and their manager, of course, in the world's worst ever Coventry strip. So get thinking, and you've had some bad ones, I know that. So let us know, get thinking about the worst ever kit. Tom, you're modelling the brand new black one, is that all right? Let's have a look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's navy blue, it's beautiful, it's for charity, so I always love the cause and it's brilliant. They wore it, they didn't do very well in it, but to be honest, it's a beautiful kit. They've only have a limited amount, so fair play if anyone's got their hands on it. So it all goes to charity at the end of the day, and you know what? I fully support it, so fair play.
Absolutely.
And it looks good.
Good stuff. Yeah. We'll take your word for it.
It's not brown.
Finally, then, it's Valentine's Day on Friday. These three are probably getting their cards written as soon as they finished here. But let's find out about their first ever love interest, which I'm sure was Coventry City. So how did you fall in love with Coventry? Jay, how old were you and what happened?
I've got a terrible memory, but one of my dad used to have a shop in Coventry, in Cowden, and then one of the customers used to be a steward at Coventry, and he was taking his son. Well, his son was going for his first game. And I think it was 1992. And then it was against Middlesbrough, I remember. I got, again, terrible memory. I just remember one of the goals, one of the players crossing in, the keeper fumbled it, and it was a sort of tapping thereafter. But I remember going there. I think the ground was being built at the time. And I got the buzz from the whole the crowd, and obviously we won that game, and I just got this massive buzz, and I absolutely loved it. So, and then going on future, I used to go to the odd few games, and then that season, seeing Peter Unlove was the first player I just like absolutely fell in love with. He was amazing. This tricky little winger, running up and down the wing, honestly, absolutely amazing. So yeah, getting the sort of the buzz, and then the first couple of games I went to, we won. So I got tricked into thinking Coventry actually a good team, I think, and then it quickly went downhill after that. And then then I became Junior Sky Blue, so I used to go train in the mornings and then get the bus to the ground, and absolutely loved it. And then I think my friend's dad was a steward, so sometimes I used to get into players' lounges and get autographs from him and stuff. So that was it. Yeah, but Peter Unlove was my first footballing love. Watching him up and down that wing was a sight of behold. So yeah.
Thanks for that, Scott.
Blimey, I think my memory's even worse than Jay's, but I used to love the side. I think I was obviously born and bred in Coventry and loved them. I ended up going to a couple of games to start with one of my dad's friends. One of the games, I don't think it was the first, but one of the games I went to was Leicester away, the old Filbert Street. How old was I? I'm guessing I was about 12. In the days where they were running battles down the streets, I had to put my scarf, tie it around my waist, and put my coat over it. I have no idea what the score was. All I saw was people fighting in the stadium, jumping over fences, and that was it. That's all I can remember from the day.
Sold on the violence, right?
Yeah, from my first game, I can't remember any goals, nothing about it. And when I finally grew up, I used to be at the Cop on the in Highfield Road, and Ian Wallace was my first love. Ginger Ian Wallace, bit like myself, good as me. But he was my first love when I was about 8 or 9, I think. Loved it.
Great. Thomas?
Hello. Okay, so me, I used to go with my uncle, my granddad, God rest his soul, obviously. When I was younger, I never went to Highfield Road, sadly. I think I was like 4 when that ended. So, but I can't remember my first game, but I remember a game that really sticks out for me. This wasn't my first, was Gillingham at home. This was the game back at the CBS. We won 1-0. The atmosphere was amazing. But obviously, my whole life, my uncle and my granddad had been taking me, Boxing Day games, the odd occasional games. Obviously, I'm a regular now. I'll go with my girlfriend and stuff. I managed to get her into it somehow. So, but obviously, my player loves were like, James Maddison, Biamu, Shippers, Michael Doyle, and then obviously the Hamers and the Vicks and Matty Godden. So, obviously, being on the young side, I never experienced all these Premier. I never seen us in the Prem. So, I'd love to one day. But yeah, just like, I'm not from Coventry. So my uncle and my granddad, I don't even know how they became Coventry fans. I just bleed it now. They just got me into it, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world now. But all thanks to them, I'm sat here right now talking about it. So that's my Valentine's Day story on it.
Fantastic. Great stories all around. And no near divorces from any of you? No, you've never kind of nearly gone?
No.
Not from
Thankfully not, no.
Even though I was Wembley upset.
I did sort of have a little, maybe try to have a little affair. I moved to London about 15 years ago.
Oh, you became a QPR fan?
No, not quite. I thought I'm going to support I do live around the corner from QPR. But I thought I'm going to support I'm going to glory hunt someone. I support England, support Coventry. I don't care. I'm going to glory hunt the Chelsea and Arsenal. I tried to sort of keep up with their scores and stuff, but it wasn't the same. So that lasted for about a month. I tried, but unfortunately, Coventry City's in my heart.
Load you back.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for that. Share your love stories in the comments below. We'll read some of these out next week. How did you fall in love with Coventry? Thanks for sharing that. Enjoy the games this week against QPR and your trip to Hillsborough, and we'll review all of it back here in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching. Drop us a subscribe if you haven't done so already.